Ready, everyone? Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man and woman in their union of marriage. Now, if you ask me, this marriage was pretty much written in the stars, and I can't think of a single person in the entire world that complements each other better than each other. And I'm humbled that you both asked me to do this, and I'm honored to have played my part in both of your lives. Everyone in this room represents something. You represent a treasured connection in both the individual and collective lives of both Gina and Brian. A friend, a relative, a long-lasting memory, as Brian has of me on his phone on the toilet. That my wife now has. And by virtue of those seemingly small connections, today we are all a great, great family. And with that, I ask, what family member gives this woman to be married to this man?
I do.
It's tough, isn't it?
It is.
That's it. So it seems so long ago now, but once upon a time, as all these things happen, there was a place. A familiar place that I'm certain that more than half of this room has been to. And in this place, friendship blossomed and flowed with the same recklessness as the alcohol that was poured there. Of course, I'm talking about Standard. Now, this place wasn't, in fact, where Gina and Brian met, but it was the place where I first met them. And I would argue that, like a greenhouse to a flower, it was the place where their love grew and was nurtured. My friendship with them grew there. It was our stomping ground, where both Gina's friends and Brian's friends all could come together and partake in all the weird going-ons that happened there. And I look back now and I realize that none of these memories can really be taken for granted or even taken lightly. Because among friends, we found great joy in simple things like a sports game, a drink, a toast. And I've had my fair share of toast with both these individuals, but for what comes tonight, I believe it will be the most meaningful toast. Because from this moment on, when I toast to both of you, I'm toasting to not both of you as individuals, but as one single, unbreakable family. So as you guys go home tonight, you might ask, what comes next? We've already come so far. Well, if you're asking me, and clearly you are, I'd say create, aspire, accomplish, achieve. Now, a couple of days ago, I was speaking with my youngest brother, who's going through a bit of a tough time with a little bit of like misdirection from his elders, and I guess that's off topic, but the crux of what I was explaining to him was the value of doing things for yourself. And nothing could ever feel better than the satisfaction of unhelped, unaided achievement. But I wish I could take a couple of those things back and amend what I said. Because as I was writing this, I realized that there is a better feeling in life, and that's the feeling of achievement with a loved one or loved ones. The feeling of achievement with loved ones. To score with your team, to find success with a partner, to make your parents proud, to create and bring something into this world with your one true love. Now that right there is the good stuff. Because at the moment of achievement, when something truly awesome happens, what do we all want? We want a hug. When the Cubs won the World Series, who didn't want to hug someone? We want to grab on someone and hold them and hug them like there's no tomorrow. So Brian and Gina, enjoy this day. And enjoy your honeymoon and get proper wasted. Not that you guys need me to tell you, especially you, Gina. But when you get home, there's work to be done. Set goals. Aim for the stars. Because there's nothing that you guys can't do. Just look around at all these people and realize the beautiful tribe that you've helped create. You can both hold your heads up high knowing that you helped create all of this. And when life gets tough, as it will, as is the human condition, you'll both start to worry about the future. Nagging doubts will creep in, and there comes times in all our lives where we just kind of like feel like we're alone and drifting. But knowing the bond that you guys carry, I say to you this: chin up, kids, because right beside you is a lifelong partner to help you row the boat and find your way. And now, The bride's cousin, Crystal, would like to recite a poem.
So this is a piece called Love is an Adventure by Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. Love is an adventure and a conquest. It survives and develops like the universe itself, only by perpetual discovery. The only right love is that between couples whose passion leads them both, one through the other, to a higher possession of their being. Put your faith in the spirit which dwells between the two of you. You have each offered yourself to the other as a boundless field of understanding, of enrichment, of mutually increased sensibility. You will meet above all by entering into and constantly sharing one another's thoughts, affections, and dreams. There alone, as you know, in spirit, which is arrived through flesh, you will find no disappointments, no limits. There alone, the skies are ever open for your love. There alone lies the great road ahead. Congratulations, guys.
And so, honored guests, we continue the journey of their union of marriage. This contract is not to be entered in lightly, but thoughtfully, earnestly, compassionately, and with a deep understanding of its obligations and its responsibilities. The bride and groom have prepared their own vows, which I will ask Brian to go first.
I don't know how much I need that, but no one's ever asked me for a microphone. And I did not know that Crystal was going to read this poem, but kind of ties in very well. Gina, I feel so lucky to be able to look back and reflect on this beautiful adventure over the last few years with you. In this time, you've always reminded me how important it is to slow down and appreciate the things around me. You always have a way to put things into perspective that makes me truly appreciate everything we have, like our friends and family here today. But even more so, that I'm lucky enough to now call you my wife, and one day the father of our children. I promise to always be right by your side as an equal partner, ready to take on any challenge or exciting, spontaneous opportunity together. I will appreciate every moment we have together and to laugh a lot, but I will also be there when things get tough with a big hug and a shoulder to cry on. Most importantly, I promise to never forget how lucky we are that we found each other. Sorry. We are two of the lucky few that can truly say that we get to spend the rest of our life with our best friend and our true love. I love you, infinity plus one. I know it's not allowed, whatever.
We're breaking the rules.
Ooh, sweaty palms. This is also the largest paper ever. Sorry. Brian, you're hands down the luckiest guy on earth. And I'm not saying that because you've got me. I've literally never seen anybody win every single time they step into a casino. Jokes aside, I'm truly the lucky one in this relationship. I'm so grateful to have you as my lifelong partner. For me, trust is the true key to being successful in life and love. I've always been reserved when it comes to sharing my feelings, but around you, it was different. You stood by me through ups and downs and never wavered in your love for me. I trust you with my entire self. You see me and love me as I am and I you. Balance is so vital to success, to a successful relationship, and you balance me. As a spontaneous woman, I love how much thought you put into every aspect of your life. You're always thinking of the future and how you can positively impact a person's life. The fact that you secretly collected patches from concerts for 5 years leading up to our engagement and recruited your kind and at the time very pregnant sister to help you place and sew them onto my jean jacket I wanted was so heartfelt. I just want to take this time to thank you for always being a supportive partner and empowering my choices. I promise to always give you my best and never leave you responsible for my happiness. In times of question, I promise to be supportive, encourage your dreams, and help you to the best of my ability, as you have always done for me. As a little girl, I always dreamed about my wedding day, but I never could have imagined someone as good as you to be standing next to me. I'm so looking forward to a long, happy life with my future husband. Not going to break the rules again.
You guys are so cute. Now, they're about to get really, really sweaty, so if you two can hold hands. And now, Brian, do you take Gina to be your lawfully wedded wife? Do you promise to hold her, cherish her, love her, forsaking all others, and holding on only unto her, in sickness and in health, as long as you both shall live?
I do.
That's good. And Gina, do you take Brian to be your lawfully wedded husband? Do you promise to hold him, cherish him, love him, holding only unto him, in sickness and his health, forsaking all others, now and forevermore?
I do.
She said she does.
I do.
And now if I can have the rings. Gina and Brian will now exchange the rings as a token of their vows they've committed to each other. These rings are more than mere trinkets, but keepsakes of the highest value. Their circular shape is a symbol of the never-ending commitment they have to each other. They are the seals confirming their vows. And now, Gina, take this ring, and as you place it on Brian's hand, repeat after me. Oh, yeah.
I can rock it.
I guess I got this. So place it on.
And repeat after me.
Place it on first.
Sure. With this ring that I give to you,
With this ring that I give to you,
both in gift and in promise,
both in gift and in promise,
I pledge my constant faithfulness.
I pledge my
Constant
constant faithfulness
and unconditional love.
and unconditional love.
And Brian, as you place that ring on Gina, with this ring I give to you,
With this ring I give to you,
both in gift and in promise,
both in gift and in promise,
I pledge my constant faithfulness
I promise my constant faithfulness
and unconditional love.
and unconditional love.
That by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Yeah.
Don't really step on
Oh,
it.
fuck that. I'm stepping on it. All right, ready?
The Webbers, everybody.
It's a beautiful night. We're looking for something new to do. Hey, baby.
If family could stay for pictures, that'd be awesome.
Is it the look in your eyes? Or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I wanna marry you. Well, I know this little chapel on the boulevard we can go. No one will know. Oh, come on, girl. Who cares if we're trash?
Joining first, lovely Katie and handsome John. Following them, alluring Kristen and dashing Keith. In next, our beautiful Kayla and dapper Connor. Following closely behind our gorgeous Gina and stately father. Next to the door, stunning Allison and suave Anthony. And next, graceful Melissa and stylish Robert. I said graceful Melissa and stylish Robert. And our floor girls, junior attendants in ring there, Maddie, Grace, Hunter, and Jax. The honor couple for today, maid of honor Jess and best man Alex. And ladies and gentlemen, introducing the new Mr. and Mrs. Weber. And we're going to do things just a little bit different tonight. To kick off the evening, we are actually going to do the first dance and invite all of you out to share in a couple dances as well before dinner is started. And here they are, Mr. and Mrs. Weber.
Good evening, everyone. From my wife and myself, we'd like to welcome you to our son, Brian, and his beautiful bride, Gina. Most momentous day of their life. Thank you all for being here. We know you all know our Brian as the successful adult he is today.
Oh, yeah.
Quiet, low energy, and very well behaved, just as he was as a child.
Wrong child.
Oops, wrong child. Okay, so let me actually tell you a little something about raising Brian. In truth, he was never quiet. He was never low energy. And we wouldn't say not well behaved, but we will say very, very busy. Brian is the youngest of 5 blended children. And let us tell you, he was more of a challenge than the other 4 put together, even on his best day. That's the truth, folks. Life with Brian was never dull. Fun, but never dull. We actually had a saying for him that, yes, we might still use today at times, and was always said with love and laughter. Brian, we can kiss you or kill you at any given moment. And oh, now we pass that torch on to Gina. Use it as you may, Gina.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there was another. If he had come first, he would have been the only child. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, though, Brian was a very loving and compassionate child and was a very hard worker with anything he put his mind to. He also made friends with everyone, and that was always seen by our continuous array of mealtime guests, almost as if there was a flashing drive-through sign at our front door. But we loved it and wouldn't have changed that for anything. Brian, you always have had a special passion for love, life, commitment, and family that we saw as a child and now as a wonderful man you are today. We can never express to you in words how much we love you and how proud we are of you. You have brought us more joy and happiness than 2 parents could have ever asked for. And to our dear Gina, who we love and look up to, we have some words of advice. Good luck, and it's all yours now. From Mom and I, we love you both. We toast to you, and we wish you a life filled with good health, happiness, and lots of babies. Have a great dinner, folks. Here you go, Mark. Good evening.
Thank you all for being here on this wonderful evening. And I did not rehearse anything. We're just going to wing it like we always do. And hopefully we'll do all right. Which we normally do. So anyway, Susan, myself, we'd like to thank you all for being here. To our lovely daughter, she looks spectacular as always. And to our new son-in-law, Brian, who we are wonderful, just the best. Give us a little pose there, Brian, that's good. Perfect. So anyway, we'll get into a little bit of whatever we want to talk about Gina.
Brazil. You know what? Gina was a treat. Every mom hopes that she has a little girl, and Gina, being my little girl and being high-spirited, I absolutely love and adore everything. Yeah, almost everything about her. This whole journey, the last 2 months have been horrendous. Nobody sees this except for Mama. Mama sees it all, and it's been an experience. Brian, you are the one and only. She cannot do this again. I won't allow it. Never, ever. Not even a renewal of vows. No. And everything has been a dream. From watching her try on her dress, to going for manicures, everything. It's just been a dream come true. And I told Brian I was going to play tag with him. Brian, you're it. She's yours. Oh.
Joey?
So I wanted to say, when everybody gets a brother-in-law, they they want somebody who can be their friend, who they can see as a brother, and I definitely see all that stuff in you, Brian. And I really appreciate everything you've done for me and Allison, and how you've treated me and embraced me as a brother, and more so than all that. Because you're all those things that everybody looks for. More so, you're an excellent provider for my sister. And in the few years that you've known her, I've never seen so many smiles on her face. I've known her entire life, and I've never seen so many smiles on her face. You bring joy to her every single day, and I know that you love her unconditionally, and you'll love her unconditionally for the rest of her life. And nobody deserves it more. Because a little thing that nobody will ever give Gina credit for, not as much credit as I do, is when we were growing up, Gina she spent her last dollar on me. She always, made sure that I was, having fun and, living my life to the fullest. And it's because Gina's the most compassionate, heartfelt, and loving person I've ever met in my entire life, and nobody deserves the love that you provide her more than her. So.
Doesn't want to take the last name Weber. So welcome to the family, Brian Miranda.
Thank you all for coming, and time to party on. Hello. One last thing to do, raise our glasses. Mr. and Mrs. Brian Weber.
two of you run off, I think it's time for the father-daughter dance.
Hell yeah, brother.
Getting this all out of the way right now.
It's for the way you look at me. It's for the way I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore and love. Is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Love and make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gina and Gina. Now, Brian, Gina just had the chance to dance with the other man in her life that holds her heart. You have another woman that holds yours. How about you share a dance with your mom?
Change the love I had for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian and his mom.
So my name's Jess, Gina's maid of honor, best friend. I truly want to thank Gina and Brian for this opportunity to speak to your love for each other, and of course family and friends for helping make this all possible. It's an honor to be standing up here on Gina's side, and I really don't know why you asked me to have a microphone in my hand, but it's all good. I'm also really happy to have this microphone and finally get a word in with Brian Weber in the room. So, what most people don't know, I was friends with Brian long before Gina and I became friends. I remember the first time I met Brian, as I'm sure most do, because he seems to leave a lasting impression, to put it nicely. He spoke to me as if he has known me forever, as he does with just about anyone he meets. And 2 minutes in, I remember thinking, holy shit, does this kid ever shut up? Needless to say, he does not. We became great friends. Sorry, White Claws. Let's fast forward a couple of years when Gina enters the picture. Brian insisted I meet this girl he had been seeing. A couple of minutes into my conversation with Gina, I remember thinking the same thoughts I had about Brian. Does this girl ever shut up? Also, she does not. It was clear that they were the perfect pair. It was also then when I realized that I was essentially talking to Brian with tits. Sorry, kids. Sorry, Grandma. Gina and myself instantly became great friends. She was always so kind to let me visit her at Standard, and she would let me use her entire Comp's bar tab, consisting of tequila and Bud Light. But in all seriousness, Gina and I were pretty much attached at the hip. Both opinionated, awkward, and oftentimes outspoken. Drafts. Ryan's words. She's the most passionate person I know. I mean, she's Italian, so that, but. Also the most caring friend one can have, and I am so proud and so happy to be able to call you my best friend. You've supported me. Fine, guys, I'm okay. It's all right. You've supported me through some not so great times, and you're also there through the best times. You've touched everyone here in one way or another, and your drive for always sticking up for what is right inspires me every day. Brian, didn't forget about you. I did not forget about you. I love you like a brother. That loud, obnoxious, sometimes judgmental brother, never afraid to call anyone out on their bullshit. I think I speak for everyone here. You're the person to go to when you need a laugh. Your positive energy is contagious. Although you may tell the same story about 30 plus times, we'll always sit here and listen as if it's the first time hearing it. I honestly can't recall a single time I didn't smile in your presence. I love you guys. Hold on, let me flip this notebook paper over. I'm so incredibly happy you two have found each other. I could not create a more loving, sweet, adventurous, and complimentary couple. I love you guys.
Thank you for all making the journey up to the water park capital of the world to celebrate Brian and Gina. Since we're here for Brian Weber's wedding, this is going to be a short speech. I have no stories that he hasn't told you 50 times. This is the prerequisite to get invited today. Brian and I have been friends since sophomore year of high school, and every day since, I've wondered how a wonderful woman like Holly Weber birthed a kid like him. We had a lot of fun in the day, from throwing Luca-Palooza, the dopest party Lake County has ever seen, playing football at Augusta Park, shout out to my quarterback, Connor Chambers, leaving deceased pet scorpions in Jeep Wranglers to see people's reactions, rest in peace, Power, and buying a Dodge Cobalt for $84 for the demolition derby with Ben White's money. What up, Darius McWillie? We managed to do all of our shenanigans before Brian Thomas's 11 o'clock curfew, set by the village of Vernon Hills and enforced by Miss Holly. We both went to Easter, where my first experience with Brian was him bringing a cocktail to my orientation. Mind you, I was in company with my mother. We lived together for 2 years, and those years opened my eyes to the real amenities of tonight. Bobby Scanlon, for living with him for 7 years, and Gina now living with him and loving him forever. Gina brings out the best sides of Brian. She's caring, yet strong, and most importantly, loves Brian's quirks and all. Good luck. Despite the fun and games and mischief of our youth, you can always count on Brian in times of distress. Whether related to family, girls, personal funds, Brian has the ability to uplift and turn any situation around. And that's when you understand he's Holly's son. Now, if everyone could please raise your glass and join me in toasting the newlyweds. You don't love someone because they're perfect. You love them despite that they're not. Cheers.
I see her trying to go.
All right, mic drop.
All right, so
Okay. So for once, I will be the one to talk. Even though Brian is always like, everybody pay attention to me. For once, it's about me, which is really nice. Brian and I just want to thank everybody for coming out. I know that's a far drive, and it can be really difficult to get up, do everything. This is why Brian always talks, because I'm not doing that great of a job. Take over, babe, please.
all right, so a lot of people made this happen. Our family, our friends. We realize that this is not like a normal distance away, and we appreciate everybody taking time out of work, everything to come up here. Our family that made this happen, our vendors that made this happen. I would like to throw out a special shout out to Joey. Stand up, Joey. When people think of like the fiance getting like breakfast, making sure everything's put out right, all these type of things. Joey did all of that, as well as like calling vendors to try and get like different things, driving like all over the place to try and make them happen. And even if we didn't like use them, like the fact that you did that to make your sister happy means a lot.
Yeah, Joey!
My mom and my dad did a lot. My other mom and dad did a lot. And everybody here dealt with Gina kind of freaking out and me kind of freaking out on everyone because Gina was freaking out, especially Robbie's cat. Thank you everybody for coming out, and I love you guys.
Thank you! Shout out to the napkin soldiers over here. We folded these all day, aka Kayla and Al.
We're going
They steamed
we're
it.
going a bit long now. Wrap it up.
Well, Brian's better at public speaking, so let's just like wrap it up.
All right, hey, hit me with the music, DJ. All right, we're gonna cut the cake. He's gonna hit me with some beat back.